everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer. I have so much to cover. I am going to break up today's episode into several episodes. So you may see some of the information that's recorded today over the next week or two, because I have a lot to show you. I had to make lists so that I can remember it all, because there's a lot and there's just stuff all around me. Gotta keep my drink close by because I'm probably gonna get a dry throat. So, first thing I wanted to show you is this cute shirt I made. The reason there's no reason. I finally finished this shirt after it being in the whip pile for over a year. So, while I have told you that I do not like to have whips, I don't like to have active whips, I don't like to have inactive whips. Well, we kind of have to have active whips if you're working on... anyway, that's neither here nor there. I designed this shirt over a year ago. I planned on writing the pattern for it for you guys. And I got so frustrated in making this specific shirt, I threw it in a bag and I threw it in the closet because I didn't want to look at it anymore. I hated working with this yarn. It was beautiful, beautiful yarn in the hank. It is universal, something that starts with an A. I forgot to bring the whip bag in here because it is like 100 degrees outside and humid. So you step outside and you're instantly turning into a puddle and can't breathe. So I did not consider this when I was moving everything I'm going to show you over the next several videos outside. I'm like, I will just do it on the porch because it's shaded and maybe it'll be cooler. And by the time I got everything, and I mean everything, bags of yarn, Happy Mail, Brunhilde, these outfits, everything moved to the porch. I was sweating and very, very cranky. So I looked at my daughter and I said, can you please help me move all this back inside? And I put a chair out there to sit in. Luckily, she was in a generous mood and not a teenager mood and helped me move all of it back in here, where there's air conditioning and a fan if I need it. Yeah, so I'm much happier inside than I was outside because it's gross outside. Now, I don't even remember what I was saying. That's why I don't have the project bag that had the label for this. It was a universal yarn that I got at AC Moore. I will put the name of it here below if I can find the tag for this yarn because I forgot. It starts with an A, I know that much. The yarn was beautiful in the hank. And I got, I think, 5 hanks for $5 at AC Moore in those designer bags that they were famous for. And it's got these beautiful neon greens and pinks and purples. And it's got blacks in it. So, like, it adds a lot of shadow and depth. And this part was so beautiful to work up. And then when I started working into the mesh, this is 100% nylon yarn and it's ribbon yarn. And what I did not know last year is that it probably needed a bigger hook. And it is extremely, extremely bounce back. So, like, no matter how many rows I was putting in, it didn't get longer. Ever. So I got frustrated and I threw in the whip bag and I threw in the closet because I was so irritated with this yarn. And so I decided I was actually looking for something to do because I've been having a really, really hard time finishing anything. This thing became a whip and I threw in a bag. That's another story I'll tell you in a minute. I decided after I threw this in a whip bag, I threw another, I had like 4 or 5 whip bags, and that is not That is not me. That drives me insane because it's like, you need to finish it. You need, like, it's a compulsion. I just have to do it. I have to do it. So I got determined, and I'm like, I'm going to finish every single whip. And right now I think I have, but I'm sure there's probably a whip or two somewhere hidden of things that have irritated me and I had to hide them from myself. Let me see what happened to my cup. Somebody threw it in the dishwasher, Mr. Cinnamon. Got a little damage right there, but look, this side's still good. Still good. Anyway, I finished it. It is like, and I sat down to work on it. The hook was still in the bag, and it was my old ergonomic boy hook. And I haven't used these hooks since I got the furls. Like, I have not picked up any other hook but the furls since I've got the furls. I just like them that much. But I have found several flaws with the furls hooks. I will probably cover that at a later date because that's a whole different story. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I like this hook. This is a good hook. No wonder I had these hooks. So now I'm like, okay, I need to find my boy hooks and put them into circulation with my furls hooks because I thought I like the furls better. I'm going to use the furls with this yarn. It helps me crochet faster on most projects. The problem is the furls hooks are so slippery, and this is nylon, super slippery yarn, like super. It just kept like sliding off and sliding off and sliding off, and I'm like, I can't use this stupid hook. So I had to get rid of my furls hook, go back to my boy hook, which has a little bit of like grip on it, and then I was able to like muscle through. Now the bottom of this shirt, I got tired of doing this small mesh part, so I went like big mesh at the bottom. But the problem is, now it's like really see-through, and I don't have a shirt on under this. So you will not see past this point because it's see-through. And I don't have an undershirt on. But I wanted to put it on so I can show you guys. Anyway, I'm letting all my secrets out. Anyway, I was sitting on the couch working on this shirt that I have hated for over a year now. And I was crocheting row after row after row of this. And it didn't seem to be getting any longer. And then I realized why I hated the shirt and why I threw it away into the closet. So I started working some mesh that is very similar to the mesh that I put into my Panchito pattern, which this is not it. That's not the Panchito. And then it went much, much faster, and I was able to finish it. And I used all 5 or 6 skeins of this yarn. And now I love the shirt, and I think it's pretty. It does need a t-shirt underneath it, and it needs to be blocked. It's actually wet right now because I thought if I got it really soaked and I hung it up, it would pull the weight down and stretch out the mesh, which it has some. But the shirt is still a little bit too short for my liking. Like, it hits me right at my natural waist. And that's not long enough for me. I like it to, like, hit at my butt. So, this was my first successful finished whip. And then I pulled this bad baby out. I started this a week or 2 ago because I made my Panchito pattern that I showed you guys a couple videos ago. I don't even know. The Panchito pattern is in my Etsy shop if you're interested. The link to it is always in the description box below. It is similar to this, but it is different than this. I had it hung up on Brunhilde, the Panchito that I made for myself, and my niece, Samira, that I have talked about in the past, was touching it. She goes, oh, this is so beautiful. Now, these kids do not appreciate crochetery at all. At all. I have made them so many things. I have made them amigurumi. I have made them wearables. I have made them hat and scarf sets. I have never seen them on them ever. My niece, she's the same age as my daughter. They're 3 months apart. has never showed interest in anything that I have made, like that she wanted. So when she was touching it and ogling this thing, I was like, she likes that. And she is very much, I don't know that she is now, she's getting older, but growing up, like the whole time, because she lived with me for quite a few years growing up. That's a long story in itself, but I know my nieces, like I know my children, and I love them like they're my children. That's why I call them my bonus children, in case you don't know that story. It's a long story. Anyway, she's very much, I want to say she has a hippie spirit, because she, at 6 and 7 years old, would dress like a flower child. And we would tease her, you know, we'd tell her she looks like a hippie. Sometimes sometimes she had no fashion sense whatsoever. And she would come out of the house and I told her she looks like, she just looks like a kid that lived in the streets. She did, because she looked like she took her clothes out of a garbage can and threw them on. And if you've ever seen the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and there's a scene where Jim Carrey goes to the mental institution and he is wearing combat boots and a tutu and like a Hawaiian shirt. She actually came out of her bedroom dressed very similarly to that, and I have a picture on my Facebook somewhere, and I compared the two of them because, like, the outfits were so similar, and I looked at her and I said, what are you wearing? God love that child, but she's got her own, she's on her own planet sometimes. But I love her because of that. She's a weirdo. But anyway, I thought this would be perfect for her. I went into my cupboard and I grabbed this cupboard. Has cotton fair in it, like a lot of cotton. It has cotton and cotton fair in it, and some other random yarns. But that's where my cotton fair and my Luna yarn is in there. And I pulled this skein out because the colors remind me of University of Michigan, and University of Michigan is a colorway that both my nieces like for different reasons. Their dad was very much into U of M, and I think that's one reason why they hang on to the U of M style stuff, because he always had sweatshirts and stuff with that, and I think a part of them like clings to that because of he's not around anymore. And I think part of it was also because of my dad, who was also not around anymore. My dad had U of M shirts, but my dad was more of a Spartans fan, so he was more into Michigan State. But like, we're all from Michigan, so it's like, I thought that would be perfect for her. I don't know if she's gonna like it or wear it, but I made it for her, and hopefully it fits her, because she is about the same size as Brunhilde. Brunhilde is an extra small, and my niece is very, very, very tiny. Like, she's like rail thin. She's a stick figure. Like, she's so small. And I hope it fits her. It's meant to go off the shoulders, and there's plenty of room for it to go off the shoulders. I actually had to manipulate it to keep it on Brunhilde, so hopefully it's not too big. But if it is too big, I know that I can do a couple rounds here of decreases, and it will come in a little bit like this. It will be like this, and it will come in and sit on the shoulders a little better. So I finished that. I finished this. That was 2 huge successes for me, because I didn't want to work on either one of them. This one, because of all the problems with it being like feeling like I was working and it was never going anywhere. And same thing with that is because it was such a thin yarn. The cotton fair is such a thin yarn. It takes longer to finish a project, which I normally don't have a problem with, but I don't know, like, I've been very like on edge with stuff lately, and it was an issue. So working with bulkier yarns was actually more of a, I should have been working with bulky yarns because I needed like the quick fix with the yarns. So I pulled out random yarn off my shelf. This is Hobby Lobby. Oh my goodness, it was just in my head. Juliet. I had 4 skeins of this that I got from Hobby Lobby clearance sale. Last year I paid like $1.24. This is itching me because it's damp. This is 4 skeins worth. And this is kind of like the pattern that I made for the second Just Fudge It shawls. So this is, we're going to call it my shield shawl. Because I think the shape like is shieldish. It has like a shield shape to it. This does not fit me, but is this made for like a smaller person? So it will probably be a gift to someone that is smaller. Because if I put it on Brunhilde, you'll see. It's made for a smaller person. Which is cool, because I used up 4 more skeins, and now that yarn is off my shelf, and I have room for new yarn, which is awesome. And then, hang on, I gotta go grab something. Oh, it fell. I posted this, I believe, on my Instagram to give you guys a little, sneak peek of what I've been working on. This is just a quarter to corner baby blanket. And this is made with the Toy Box yarn. And again, it was because I wanted something that was like a quick fix that would keep me and my hands and my mind busy, but that was not too complicated, was not tedious, was not, something that I could really like just sit down and play with. So this is Toy Box. I don't remember the color because the bands are in a project bag in the living room, and I'm not going to get them. Anyway, I really, really like Toy Box yarn. Now, let me say this. I've worked with Toy Box in the past. It does not make excellent kid hats just because it is not anti-pilling. It snags on Velcro really easy. Well, maybe it works fine for kids, but it does not work fine for my kids. My son had Velcro on his coat right here, and that hat would stick to it over, and it would just like fuzz up, and it looked terrible after about 3 weeks. So I don't personally like this for kids' hats for my kids, but it makes really beautiful baby blankets. And it washes and dries just fine. It's just if it's around something that's going to be rubbing against, like Velcro, it destroys this yarn really fast. But I think this is so cool. I really, 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 really like these baby blankets. So I was working, and I don't do counting. I just crochet until it's a significant size that I think is a good size for baby blankets. I don't measure it. I don't do none of that. I just go. And sometimes that works, and sometimes I run out of blue yarn and I have to switch it up to a different color. So what happened was I ran out of the blue, and I went and found another one that has some of the blues in it, and I added it in, and there's a little pop of color in that corner, and I love this. I think it adds to the blanket. I think it's cute. I love that little color. And I did not weave in the ends because, I was looking for a quick fix. So, we did this blanket with that little pop of color in the corner, which I think is beautiful. And then I was like, okay, what else do I got in there? So I went and grabbed all the rest of my Toy Box yarns. So now I don't have any more left. And they all had pink tones in it. Again, I did not have enough to make a big giant baby blanket because 3 skeins is not enough to make corner to corner. So I started with the end that I ended that blue blanket with. So I started with this color, which is beautiful. And the whole time I am making this, the yarn was screaming at me. I don't want to be a blanket. I want to be a hat. I don't want to be a blanket. I want to be a hat. And I said, I don't like you as a hat. You snag up. So then I got through the first 2 skeins, and I put a skein aside because it just kept yelling at me, I want to be a hat. I want to be a hat. So I kept a skein aside. So this is the first 2 skeins. And then I moved into this colorway. This is 3 skeins of this, just less than 2 skeins of this. And I just think these mixed colors are so pretty. I love the way that looks. That is so unique. It is so not your typical. I am using my laptop as a light for this way because it's dark in my room. and it keeps going into sleep mode, so I keep having to click it. So if you see the light on and off, it's my laptop. Because I didn't feel like putting my lighting system up. Because like I said, there's a lot of stuff in here right now that needs to be put away. So, and this blanket is not as big as the blue one, but I still think it's good newborn size. And I could always put a border on it and like really extend this if I wanted, but I don't think I want to. I love that color for a baby blanket. So, like I said, I kept a skein out to make a hat. Now this is a Jen size hat. However, this is a total failure hat because I did not follow a pattern. And for some reason, there's like a weird peak there where the seam is. So we put that on the back of her head because people don't notice the back of your head. But this was screaming to be a hat. What do you think? Is it weird that I'm this close to the camera? I thought it was cute. I liked it. And now I am all out of toy box yarn, which is probably a cool thing because I got room for new yarn. All right, what's up next for me to show you? Happy Mail. Happy Mail's next on the list. And then we're going to end the video because we're already at like 21 minutes. I got a fantastic card from Bev in Iowa. Beautiful card. Isn't that cute? I thought that was really sweet, so thank you for the card. And then I got a box from Christine and a beautiful letter. And I had to double check and make sure it wasn't Christina. I didn't want to make that mistake. Christine. Christine is in New York. Yes, she's in New York. So this package came from New York. Now, I wanted to show you, there is yarn in here. I knew Christine was sending me a package because in my Facebook group, she said that she was going to send me a hank of yarn that she dyed. And so I expected just this. Just beautiful, like purpley gray color. Right? And I thought that was all that was going to be in the box. So when I opened and I read the letter, she also sent me some ice yarn, which I have very little experience with ice yarn. I have a top that I made out of ice yarn that I found at the thrift store a while back. But I'm excited to use this. This is Alpaca Active. It's 20% alpaca, 20% wool, 60% premium acrylic. It is a, I think it's a number 2. Put my old lady readers on. Yeah, it's a fine number 2. And there is a bunch of yardage in here, if I recall. If I can find it. It was probably right where I was looking. 550 meters. So that's a lot. That's a lot of yarn. I apologize for my coughing. I got a tickle. Allergy season is upon me. Actually, I have allergies all year long, but there's sometimes during the year that it just gets really bad, and I'm at that point. And then she sent me some willow yarn. This is Willow Ripples, which is really neat. I look forward to using that. I like textured yarns. I think they're fun to work with. There's 2 of those in there. And then she said her daughter made me some coasters. Very sparkly, cool coasters in a corally orangey color. This one is flexible. And this one, she said her daughter hand drew my logo to create a hard acrylic coaster. How cool is that? Now this will most likely not be used as a coaster because I think it's too special to use for a coaster. So I'm probably going to set this up somewhere, probably on my shelf back here where I can look at it all the time, because I think it is so sweet that she hand drew my coaster. She actually made me cooler in this logo than in my actual logo. She gave me sunglasses instead of like my red glasses. So, isn't that cool? I thought that was just the sweetest thing ever. So thank you so much, Christine, and thank you to Christine's daughter. I don't think that information, her name wasn't in here, I don't think. But thank you. That just, it really, really touches my heart when you guys send me stuff. And I say this all the time. Thank you does not feel like a big enough word. You guys have made me like amazing gifts. You have sent me yarn, which is like my favorite things. You guys just, you send me so much love. And I said this in the last video where I was talking about the gifts that I received from some of you guys. And I was like, I don't feel like I deserve this and whatever. And you guys even like went over and above like, yes, you do deserve this because we love you. And we love you because of this. And we love you because of that. And it was like even more love was just being poured on me and poured on me and poured on me. And I appreciate that. And I don't have low self-esteem where I'm like, oh, I don't deserve that. I'm a humble person. And when you guys do this, it humbles me even more because I know what it takes to send someone a gift. I know where that comes from in your heart. And I know that something I'm doing is affecting you enough to make you want to say thank you to me. And just knowing that I can be silly and put a smile on your face, that means a lot to me. Like, that's my goal, is I just want to be silly. I want you guys to laugh at me. I want you guys to smile with me. I want you to have like a bright spot in your day with me or without me. Like, I just want you guys to smile because times are tough. Let's face it. Like, I myself have moments where I just feel like I cannot take another freaking thing going wrong, you know, or like I just need 5 seconds to where I can just breathe because like it's getting intense, you know. And I know that we're all in this, we're all experiencing this. And so I love that there's so much love being spread throughout the community between us, you know. I'm rambling now, so I'm rambling. And I got other videos to make, so I need to shh. All right, I'm gonna take my glasses off because they're got a huge glare and they're making me get a little sweaty. Whew. So I will see you guys in the next one. And until then, keep smiling.